Have you ever pondered what happens after we draw our last breath? According to the teachings of Islam, the journey after death is of paramount importance, not just within the realm of Islam, but amongst diverse religious faiths. The Islamic perspective, deeply rooted in the wisdom of scholars throughout centuries, provides a captivating glimpse into existence beyond our mortal plane. As we embark on this exploration, allow me to share a narrative rooted in Islamic tradition about the believer's departure from this world to the next. As per the hadith narrated by Al-Bara ibn Azib and recorded in the book Sunan Abu Dawud, when a believer is at the edge of life and death, angels with radiant faces descend from the heavens. They sit within his sight, and then the angel of death approaches, sitting by his head, inviting his soul, saying, "O good soul, come out to forgiveness and pleasure from Allah." The soul then emerges like a drop of water from a water skin, and as soon as it is seized, it is taken by the angels and placed in a perfume from it, alike the sweetest musk on earth emanates. The soul begins its ascent, and at each group of angels, it is greeted with the question, "Who is this good soul?" The reply always includes the name of the deceased and their lineage. Upon reaching the lowest heaven, the angels request entrance, and it is granted. The soul journeys through every heaven until it reaches the seventh heaven. There, Allah commands, "Record the book of my slave in Ilyun and take him back to the earth." Let's, on this path of understanding, delving deeper into the complexities of these beliefs. Renowned Ibn Arabi in his book Futuhat al-Makkiyya, published 1232 Mecca, said, "Al-Maut huwa al-intiqal min al-alam al-nisbi ila al-alam al-haqiqi," which translates to, "Death is the transition from the relative world to the real world." Another notable scholar, Imam Ghazali, in his work Ihya Ulum al-Din, published 1100 Tus, Iran, stated, "Al-hayatu ba'da al-maut hiya al-hayatu al-haqiqiyya," which can be translated as life after death is the real life. Now let's delve deeper into the wisdom of these scholars and more to unravel this profound mystery. The distinguished scholars of Islam provided a unique insight into the voyage that follows death. To understand their perspectives, we will start with two of the most influential figures, Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, and Ibn Qayyim, Al-Mawtu Rihla wa laysa Nihaya, death is a journey, not the end. Ibn Abbas, quoted in Ahkam al-Quran, published by Dar al-Marifa in Beirut, Lebanon, in 2003. Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, a cousin of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and a revered scholar of the Quran, laid the foundation for the Islamic perception of death and the afterlife. He portrayed death more as a passage, not a conclusion. It's a journey from the physical realm to an eternal spiritual dimension. According to him, at the time of death, the soul quietly detaches from the body and unites with the divine. This peaceful passage notion greatly influenced the Islamic perspective of death. Next is Ibn Qayyim, another highly regarded scholar, who further developed this concept. Ba'd al-maut takhruj kullu nafasin li yawm al-qiyamah. After death, every soul will be brought forth for the day of resurrection. Ibn Qayyim, as quoted in Kitab al-Ruh, published by Dar ibn Kathir in Damascus, Syria, in 1998. He delved more into the journey following of resurrection and the day of judgment. He imagined this day as a time of reckoning where each person will be evaluated based on their actions. He emphasized that Allah's mercy is infinite, and sincere repentance can lead to forgiveness and salvation. Rahmatullah ghair mutanahiya wa tawbatun nasiha taqdeemul afwi wa najah. Allah's mercy is unending, and sincere repentance brings forgiveness and salvation. These early interpreters, Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, and Ibn Qayyim, with their deep insights, established the framework for understanding life after death in Islam. They offered a blueprint that influenced Islamic eschatology, the theological aspect concerned with death, judgment, and the ultimate fate of the soul and humankind. Their teachings continue to direct millions of believers in their spiritual journey, providing consolation, hope, and a deeper comprehension of life's ultimate voyage. As the perspectives of Islamic scholars have continuously evolved, our exploration brings us now to the Middle Ages. This period was illuminated by the profound wisdom and insights of Islamic thinkers such as Al-Ghazali and Ibn Taymiyyah. Al-Ghazali, an influential scholar from the 11th and 12th centuries, played a crucial role in harmonizing Sufi spirituality with Orthodox Islam. His notable treatise, Ihya Ulum al-Din, or The Revival of Religious Sciences, was published in Persia by the esteemed Dar al-Ifta in 1110. It thoroughly explores the soul's journey after death. One poignant quote from his work states, Al-Amal bil-Khawatim, or actions are judged by their endings. Al-Ghazali, Revival of Religious Sciences, Dar al-Ifta, 1110. This underscores the importance of moral and ethical conduct in this life for a peaceful journey in the afterlife. Fast forward to the 14th century, we meet Ibn Taymiyyah, a respected Hanbali jurist from Damascus. His meticulous analysis of Islamic texts is showcased in Kitab al-Iman, or the Book of Faith, published in Damascus in 1302 by the distinguished publisher Dar al-Turat al-Islami. A key line from his book states, Rahmatu liman yastahiquha, which can be translated as, mercy is for those who earn it. Ibn Taymiyyah, the Book of Faith, Dar al-Turat al-Islami, 1302. This emphasizes how our actions in this life directly influence our position in the next, adhering to the principles of divine justice. Although these scholars lived in different eras, they wove a similar theme into their teachings, the vital importance of ethical conduct and moral integrity. They depicted the journey after death not merely as a transition from one state to another, but as a direct consequence of one's deeds and actions in this life. Through their teachings, they enriched the understanding of the afterlife, furthering the Islamic concept of the hereafter. The Day of Judgment was presented with intricate details, emphasizing its role in the divine providence. The scholars stressed the importance of living a virtuous life, understanding that every action reverberates in the afterlife. These scholars have not just broadened the understanding of life after death, but have also added depth to the discourse. Their enduring legacy continues to enlighten and guide millions worldwide, providing a profound understanding of the journey that awaits us all beyond death. Delving into the interpretations of both medieval and contemporary scholars, we are now embarking on a journey to unravel the process the soul undergoes after death, according to Islamic teachings. This journey is far from being a mere transition, but rather a sequence of trials, tests, and questions designed by Allah that the soul must successfully navigate. The journey commences at the point of death, with the soul faced with an interrogation in the grave by the angels Munkar and Nakir. This concept is beautifully expressed by Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah in his seminal work Kitab al-Ruh, or the Book of the Soul, published in Damascus in 1350 by Dar al-Kutub al-Ilmiyah. He elucidates Al-Qabru marhalatun ula min marahil al-akhirah, which translates to, the grave is the first stage of the stages of the hereafter. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, the Book of the Soul, Dar al-Kutub al-Ilmiyah, 1350. Following this, the soul embarks on a daunting journey across the Sirat Bridge, a narrow and challenging path that every soul must traverse to arrive at paradise. Jalal ad-Din Rumi, in his monumental work Matnawi, published in Konya in 1273 by Dar al-Fikr, beautifully portrays this stage. Rumi articulates that Sirat Jisr Raqiq Yajib ala kulli nafs ubur lil wusul ila al-Jannah, which translates to the Sirat is a thin bridge that every soul must cross to reach paradise. Jalal ad-Din Rumi Matnawi, Dar al-Fikr 1273. The journey concludes when the soul arrives at its final destination, either hell or paradise, depending on the deeds performed during its worldly existence. Imam al-Qurtubi, in his Tadkira, published in Cordoba in 1273 by Dar'i al-Turath al-Arabi, outlines this stage. He states, Al-Jannatu aw an-nar masir an-nafs binan ala al-af'al fi al-hayat ad-dunya, which translates to paradise or hell is the destiny of the soul based on the deeds in the worldly life. Imam al-Qurtubi, Tadkira, Dar Ihya al-Turath al-Arabi, 1273. These stages, as elaborated by these esteemed scholars, offer a comprehensive insight into the journey after death in Islam. Every stage of this journey exemplifies the essence of divine justice, underscoring the significance of our actions in this life. The journey of the soul after death, as interpreted by these scholars, serves as a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of our worldly existence and the eternal consequences of our deeds. In recent times, Islamic scholars have continued to explore the concept of life after death. Among such scholars, Yusuf al-Qaradawi and Tariq Ramadan have presented nuanced perspectives that incorporate contemporary concerns and understandings. Yusuf al-Qaradawi, a prominent Egyptian Islamic theologian, has been vocal in his exploration of the afterlife. His work, Al-Halal wal-Haram fi al-Islam, The Lawful and the Prohibited in Islam, published by Maktaba Wahba in Cairo in 1960, reflects a progressive approach. Al-Qaradawi is quoted as saying, Al-Maut laysa nihaya bal bidayatan li hayati ukhra, which translates to, death is not an end, but the beginning of another life. This statement strongly emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and accountability for one's actions during their lifetime. He suggests that the journey after death not merely a divine decree, but a reflection of one's earthly deeds. Meanwhile, Tariq Ramadan, a Swiss Muslim academic, philosopher, and writer, provides a more existential perspective. In his book, The Quest for Meaning, Developing a Philosophy of Pluralism, published by Penguin Books in London in 2010, he delves into the concept of life after death as a continuation of personal growth and spiritual evolution. Ramadan's interpretation suggests that the afterlife is not the end, but rather another phase of existence where the soul continues to learn and evolve. He states, Al-hayatu ba'da hiya marhala ukhra min al-wujud haythu yastamiru al-ruh fi at-ta'allum wa at-tatawwur. This is translated as life after death is another phase of existence where the soul continues to learn and evolve. Both scholars, in their unique ways, have incorporated contemporary concerns into their interpretations. Al-Qaradawi's emphasis on personal responsibility resonates with today's discourse on accountability, social justice. On the other hand, Ramadan's existential view aligns with the modern pursuit of personal growth and lifelong learning. It's essential to note that these interpretations, while grounded in Islamic teachings, also reflect the scholar's personal understandings and societal contexts. They are part of a broader conversation within the Islamic community, the significance of life, death, and what lies beyond. These views reflect the ongoing evolution of Islamic thought on the journey after death. As society continues to change, so too does the discourse around life after death. This dynamic dialogue, both respectful of tradition and responsive to modernity, is a testament to the richness and depth of Islamic thought. The ultimate destination in the afterlife journey, as per Islamic beliefs, is either Jahannam, hell, or Jannah, paradise. Now, allow us to probe the rich tapestry of Islamic thought and discover the diverse scholarly views on the nature of these ultimate destinations. The depictions of Jahannam and Jannah are plentiful and varied, mirroring the range of Islamic thought across different eras and cultures. In Islamic tradition, Jahannam is often painted as a place of scorching heat, replete with a fire and smoke, where the wicked face retribution for their earthly sins. As quoted in his original Arabic text by the celebrated scholar Ibn Kathir in his book Tafsir al-Quran al-Azim, Interpretation of the Great Quran, published in the 14th century by Maktaba Darus Salam, 1987, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Jahannam hiya nar mushta'ila ma'a ma'i yaghli wa dhalla min dukhan aswad, translated as Jahannam is a blazing fire with boiling water and a shadow of black smoke. This mirrors the descriptions found in the Quran and Hadith, the primary sources of Islamic beliefs. On the contrary, Jannah is portrayed as a place of indescribable beauty and joy. Al-Ghazali, a leading scholar of the 11th century, in his book Ihya Ulum al-Din, The Revival of the Religious Sciences, published by Dar al-Minhaj, 2005, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, illustrates Jannah as a place where Anhar min al-laban wal-asal wal-khamr tajri wa kull naw' min al-fakihati wal-ladhat mutawaffira, translated as rivers of milk, honey, and wine flow, and where every kind of fruit and delicacy is available. This is a place where the virtuous are rewarded for their worthy deeds and moral in life. However, it's crucial to remember that these descriptions are not necessarily literal. Many scholars propose that they are metaphorical, intended to aid us humans in understanding the ungraspable. As stated in his original language by Ibn Taymiyyah, a medieval scholar, in his book Majmur al-Fatawa, compilation of legal opinions, printed by Dar al-Kutub al-Ilmiya, 1989, Beirut, Lebanon, واقعية الجنة والنار معروفة فقط لله. البشر يمكنهم فقط فهم طبيعتها من خلال الرموز والاستعارات, translated as the reality of paradise and hell known only to Allah. Humans can only grasp their nature through symbols and metaphors. Now you may ask, what determines whether a soul goes to Jahannam or Jannah? According to Islamic beliefs, the criteria for entering either are based on a person's actions and beliefs during their lifetime. It's a common understanding that monotheists who worshipped Allah alone and led a righteous life will enter Jannah. Conversely, those who denied Allah, associated partners with Him, or led a life of sin and immorality are destined for Jahannam. However, it's not as clear-cut as it appears. Islamic thought also highlights Allah's mercy and forgiveness. The Quran frequently reminds us that Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Therefore, many scholars believe that Allah's mercy can redeem even the worst sinners from Jahannam. As quoted in his original language by Al-Qurtubi in his text Tafsir al-Qurtubi, the interpretation of the Quran, published by Dar al-Fikr, 2003, Damascus, Syria, لا أحد يستطيع أن يحد من مدى رحمة الله يغفر لمن يشاء, translated as, no one can limit the extent of Allah's mercy. He forgives whom He wills. In conclusion, it's important to acknowledge that these are interpretations, and the reality of the afterlife remains a mystery known only to the divine. The objective is not to instill fear or false hope, but to motivate individuals to lead a life of righteousness, morality, and devoutness. These concepts of Jahannam and Jannah therefore serve as potent reminders of the transient nature of our earthly existence and the eternal reality that awaits us. They represent the ultimate moral compass, steering individuals towards virtuous conduct and away from evil. With the promise of reward, Jahannam and Jannah encapsulate the culmination of the soul's journey after. Despite the differences in their views, the perspectives of these Islamic scholars are united by certain themes. As we delve into these common threads, we uncover a rich tapestry of thought that has guided the faithful across centuries. One such theme is the importance of righteous living. As Al-Ghazali, a renowned Islamic philosopher, once said in his work Ihya Ulum al-Din, published by Dar al-Minhaj in 2008 in Beirut, Inmal Amlub Niyya, which translates to actions are but by intentions. This emphasizes the significance of leading a moral life, which has been a constant theme in Islamic teachings from the earliest times to modern interpretations. Another recurring motif is the belief in divine justice. This principle, deeply embedded in Islamic thought, assures believers that every action receives its due recompense. Ibn Taymiyyah, in Majmu' Fatawa, published by Dar Ihya al-Turat al-Arabi in Cairo in 2001, stated, Jaza'an wifa'aka, meaning an equivalent recompense. This promise of justice serves as a powerful reminder of accountability, instilling a sense of responsibility and moral vigilance. We also see scholars across time highlighting the transitory nature of earthly life. Rumi, in Matnawi, published in Konya in 1273 by the Mevlana Museum, beautifully captures this fleeting nature of life. Dunya bir geçelik misafirhane, translated as the world is a one-night guest house. This perspective encourages a detachment from material possessions and worldly desires, promoting a focus on spiritual growth and inner transformation. Finally, the theme of mercy emerges as of hope, despite the stark realities of hell and the rigorous demands of righteous living. As Imam Nawawi, in Riyad as-Salihin, published by Dar ibn Hazm in Beirut in 1999, reminds us, Allahumma innaka afu tuhibbul afwa fa'af anna, faghfir li, translated as, O Allah, you are most forgiving and you love forgiveness, so forgive me. This message of hope and redemption underscores the compassionate nature of the divine, solace and encouragement to the faithful. These themes provide a common thread through the tapestry of Islamic thought on life after death. They serve as guiding lights, illuminating the path for those seeking to navigate the journey of existence from this life to the next. The journey following death is a complex subject in Islam, steeped in a rich history of scholarly discourse. Scholars from all eras have provided us with an array of interpretations, a testament to the wisdom of the Islamic tradition. The esteemed scholar Ibn Sina once declared in his book Kitab al-Shifa, death is a necessary station in the journey of the soul. It is not the end, but the beginning. This sentiment forms the basis of a framework that emphasizes the fleeting nature of earthly life and the eternal reality of the afterlife. As Al-Ghazali, another renowned philosopher and theologian, wrote in his book Ihya Ulum al-Din, this life is just a station and the eternal truth resides in the afterlife. Over the centuries, Islamic scholars delved deeper into the metaphysical aspects of life after death. Imam Fakhr al-Din al-Razi, for instance, wrote in Al-Tafsir al-Kabir, "Heaven and hell are imagined in various colors and shapes, but the truth surpasses what the human mind can fathom." In modern times, scholars like Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi continue to grapple with contemporary issues. In his book, The Lawful and the Prohibited in Islam, the interpretation of Islam is not correct unless it harmonizes with the modern era. These discourses have common themes: moral accountability, the promise of divine justice, and the hope for mercy and forgiveness. As Ibn Taymiyyah stated in Majmu al-Fatawa, mercy and justice form the basis of Islam, yet the journey after death continues to be shrouded in mystery. This mystery, however, doesn't lead to despair, but inspires reflection, understanding, and a drive for a life that leads towards a good destination. The wisdom of these scholars doesn't provide us with absolute answers, but guides us through this uncertainty, allowing us to purposefully and instilling in us a sense of hope and faith. As Jalaluddin Rumi said in his book Masnavi, "Nothing hidden from you if you know yourself." Despite the intricacies of life after death, these scholars provide us with an insight into the Islamic perspective of this profound topic. Please like, subscribe, and share our content. Now, let's uncover the journey of the soul post-death. The soul embarks on a journey, descending from the body and witnessing its own funeral. It sees the body laid on the ground, shrouded, ready for burial. The soul feels the weight of the earth as loved ones shovel it into the grave. Once the grave is filled, the soul is left in the silence and darkness. It is then that the angels, Munkar and Nakir, approach. They ask three crucial questions. What is your deen? Who is your prophet? Who is your Lord? The soul's responses will dictate its experience in the grave until the day of judgment. The answers are not spoken with the tongue or with the brain, but arise from the heart. What is truly held in the heart reveals itself in this moment. After successfully answering these three questions, the soul is bestowed with 5 glad tidings from Allah. The grave is adorned with the furnishings of Jannah. The soul is clothed in garments from Jannah. A gate of Jannah is opened before the soul. The grave expands in space, and the soul is given the glad tidings of Allah's pleasure. A man of beautiful countenance, wearing a beautiful garment and emitting a sweet fragrance, comes to the soul. This man personifies the soul's good deeds in life. The soul then undergoes a recapitulation of its life, being questioned about all its deeds. This is the journey of a believer's soul after death. As we delve deeper into the journey after death, let's explore the divine interrogation and the grave's embrace. The first night in the grave is a momentous one. It's said that if one can pass through it successfully, the rest of the journey becomes easier. As the body lays in the grave, the soul is returned to it for questioning. 2 angels, Munkar and Nakir, known for their bluish black color and terrifying countenance, approach the deceased. They wake him up with a jolt and begin their probing. They ask 3 fundamental questions. Who is your Lord? What is your religion? And who is your prophet? As Islamic scholar Ibn Abbas expounded in his work, Al-Tafsir, published in 1997 by Dar al-Abyan, Riyadh. Min Rabbik, Madinuk, Min Nabiyik, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? The responses to these questions aren't based on rote learning. Instead, they are reflections of one's beliefs and actions during their lifetime. As Ibn Abbas further explains, those who have led their lives believing in Allah, following the principles of Islam, and recognizing Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as their guide will answer without hesitation, and on the other hand, those who neglected their faith or were insincere in their beliefs will stumble over their words and falter, unable to answer. As expounded by Al-Qurtubi in his book Al-Jami li Ahkam al-Quran, published in 1967 by Dar al-Kutub al-Ilmiya, Beirut, إن الإجابة عن هذه الأسئلة ليست بحفظ وتكرار بل بالإيمان الصادق والعمل الصالح. The response to these questions is not with memorization and repetition, but with sincere faith and righteous deeds. This interrogation is known as the test of the grave, and it is a pivotal factor in the individual's fate in the afterlife. After the questioning comes the squeeze. For the faithful, it's akin to a mother's warm embrace, while for the others, it's a tormenting pressure that loosens only when the body's ribs interlock. The grave then becomes akin to a garden from paradise for the steadfast believers. They rest in tranquility, awaiting the day of judgment, comforted by their virtuous deeds that take the form of a pleasant companion. For the non-believers and the immoral, the grave transforms into a pit of hell. Their bad deeds manifest as a terrifying companion, and they remain in a state of torment until the day of judgment. The reality of life after death serves as a profound reminder of the fleeting nature of our worldly existence. It accentuates the importance of leading a life of faith, righteousness, and benevolence. For in the grave, we are alone with our deeds, and it's these deeds that will either be a source of solace or a reason for torment. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the journey of a believer's soul after death in our next segment. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Intriguing, isn't it? The endless interpretations and profound wisdom that has been passed down through generations. Let's delve into the journey of a believer's soul upon recognizing the signs of death as per Islamic beliefs. The process starts when the angel of death approaches, who extracts the soul gently, a stark contrast to the arduous extraction experienced by the disbelievers. The soul then embarks on a journey through the seven heavens, moving towards Allah's throne, a journey filled with an awe. Upon being presented to Allah, the soul is returned to its body in the grave. This is where the soul is interrogated about its faith and deeds by the angels Munkar and Nakir. This questioning acts as a mirror of the life lived, the faith upheld, and the carried out. The grave then morphs, adorned with elements of Jannah, a garden from paradise, and a personified embodiment of the deceased's good deeds appear, comforting the soul during its stay in the grave. Anxiously, the believer's soul awaits the day of judgment, eager to enter Jannah, paradise, the most incredible reward for their faith and righteousness. This vivid illustration of a believer's soul's journey upon recognizing death's signs serves as a reminder of the significance of righteous living and good deeds in Islam. It underscores our earthly existence's fleeting nature and the eternal reality of the afterlife. It is a journey of faith, of hope, and of divine justice. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Having explored the journey of a believer's soul after death, let's now venture into a contrasting narrative, According to Islamic teachings, the journey of a disbeliever's soul after death is markedly different. The angel of death, as Islamic doctrine states, extracts the soul of a disbeliever with force, a stark contrast to the gentle extraction experienced by a believer. The soul is then taken downwards, a path divergent from the ascension to the heavens that a believer's soul experiences. In the grave, the soul undergoes an interrogation by the angels Munkar and Nakir. Unlike the believer's soul, which finds comfort and reassurance in its faith and good deeds, the disbeliever's soul faces a harsher, more severe questioning about faith and actions. Let's delve deeper into the Islamic texts that describe this journey. In Surah Al-Anfal, verse 50, the Quran says, "And if you could see when the angels take the souls of those who disbelieve, they're striking their faces and their backs." And in Hadith Sahih Bukhari, volume 4, book 56, Hadith 667, it is narrated that the soul of a disbeliever is pulled out with great difficulty. This exploration of the disbeliever's journey after death adds another layer to our understanding of the Islamic concept of life after death. It underscores the significance of faith in shaping our eternal journey. In the next video, we will explore the Day of Judgment and how it represents divine justice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Stay tuned for more enlightening discussions on the mysteries of life and beyond.